Greetings, Space Engineers. This is Commander Noodles, and welcome to Episode 4 of Season 2. We've made some very slight modifications since we left you last, but essentially everything's the same. What we have done, and let me get out and I'll quickly show you. Okay, so I've added 2 additional spotlights to the ship on top of the 2 that we put on from the last episode. I have also put in a cargo container here on this simple platform that we attached to this asteroid. And the last thing I did is I mined some of the ice here and put it in the ship. Some of it is stored here at the mining base, and the rest of it's in the ship. And if you have a look, all the meters here are completely full. So my battery's currently charging at say at least 3/4. There it is, that's full now. And all my oxygen and my hydrogen's good. So what we're going to do today is we're looking at how to identify the different ores, see what they look like. So what we can do is we can mine them with this small ship, take them back to our platform, have them refined, and then we can build a bigger ship, meaning a ship that can take bigger drill bits. And if you can take bigger drills, you can mine more. So you won't spend as much time mining. You'll be able to have fun and get a whole bunch of stuff really quickly, send it back to your platform or whatever you've set up with refineries, because I always recommend more than one, and it will take a while to refine. So no further ado, we're going to unlock here. We're going to take off, and we're going to look for what we need to find for additional minerals. So right now we know we have iron and ice here, so we don't need to worry about this asteroid anymore. What we're really looking for now is uranium. The uranium is what we need for our reactor on our main base. Remembering we have battery power at the moment. One person has asked about, on the right hand side when you're in the ship, you'll see the bottom right corner 100, and it's my H2 level, my hydrogen, and above that it says 2. That is my energy usage level. So if we were to run the same system we have right now with 2 batteries on this ship but ion thrusters, that too would probably jump up to 47. That's 47% of its current power capacity, and at the moment we have 10 hours, that's real-time hours, not computer game hours, 10 hours of playtime. So if you haven't done so already, I'm about to do this. Go save as. If you feel you need to, I'm going to rename it. So there we go, tutorial 4. And now what we can do is we're going to look around, see if we can find asteroids. I did have another person ask me just recently, what sort of a system do you run? Because it seems that you have to have a really good system. And honestly, if you want to run it with graphics like this, yes you do. But I have been able to run it on a system with 6 gig of RAM, and actually this looks good, and a Core 2 processor. And I was running a GT640 graphics card, which only had 1 gig of graphics RAM. So the RAM itself wasn't that good. The graphics card wasn't that good. This at the time used more CPU power than a DIG's graphics card, but they are making some significant changes now, and they're actually utilizing the graphics card a lot more now, which is fantastic. So what we need to do, getting back to point while we're going through this, is we're going to look at each asteroid and we're going to identify what resources are in the asteroid. Now if we don't need it right away, we're going to mark it with a GPS location and move on. So as you can see, I'm coming up to this asteroid, and if you have a look, there's another one just here, and there's one just there, and there's actually one just there as well. So we're just going to keep focusing. You can see the asteroids, there's the 2 other planets. We're not going to worry about them just yet. That'll be in a different video. And we're going to look at this asteroid. The big ones are always great. The smaller ones are fine, but you don't want to necessarily clutter your whole system up with GPS locations. So what you want to do is find, okay, gold, silver, uranium, iron, all the minerals that we might need. And then what we'll do is, okay, so now if we need some, we know where to go to mine it. So I'm getting ready to see where this way is going. We're gonna, there we go, bring it up a little bit. So you can see our speed is 100 right now. Now, here's the thing about this ship. Remember, we got the massive thruster at the bottom. If you're going 100 and you worry when you hit Z, it's not going to stop in time, look, put it so the thrusters are going down, meaning we're going to use our big thrusters to slow us down, and look, we're already at 36%. I'll say 30, 25, 30 of our speed. Oh, look, we're back into gravity, so let's bail out of the gravity. We have to be careful about that. So that's one thing that if we were on a larger ship and we're going for the asteroid, that would have caused us some major problems because basically the major ship may not have had enough power to get out of that gravity. So let's look for an asteroid. That's a shame because that could have been a really good asteroid. You know what? We have the ability to see what's in that asteroid, but we don't want to encourage ourselves to go back because we have a bigger ship and we go, oh, that asteroid's here and it's got this resources. We don't want to put ourselves in a position where we lose our ship because we got ourselves too close to the Earth gravity. And if we can't pull away from that gravity like we just did then, you will lose a ship. It will crash and burn because if it can't take the gravity to escape it at that high level there, well, as you get lower, obviously the gravity gets stronger and stronger. Well, there's a good looking one. I am kind of jumping around a little bit. I apologize, but let's see what we got here. So that's the main point. If you see an asteroid, keep an eye on your gravity meter. And what I'll do is we will get to this asteroid in just a second and we'll review this asteroid here for its resources. What I'll then do is cut loose and finish off the recording, and then I'll crop back at the next one, and so we'll have you've got a good idea of flying around, looking at your resources, looking for resources visually, so you can do this or you can do this here. I have a tendency quite often to scout around doing that, and you know what to look for if you're flying too close to the planet and you get into the gravity field. But I don't want to spend hours and hours and hours just aimlessly flying when you know what to do there. So we're going to hit Z, put my dampeners on, we're slowing down. And now, not every asteroid will be hollow like the last one. This one appears to be. And we're going to use this way to slow us down. We don't want to crash because that would really be difficult. Okay, there we go. So we have iron, and it looks like we have water. Let's see if there's anything else in this asteroid. It's actually pretty easy most of the time to find other minerals than just iron and water. But iron, what's this? This is not water. Give me a second. Let's have a look. So we got gold, we have magnesium, and we have iron. So we got ice here, we have gold 44 meters that way, and we have iron in that direction. Now look, the iron which is right in front of us is 39 meters, and the gold is 44. So we may have to drill in, or we may have to look on the other side. But this meteor here, this asteroid, I'm sorry, this actually looks pretty good. So let's come over here, and we'll see what else is on this side. We definitely have iron. And let's see. Let's go outside this meteor, see if we can find an actual deposit of gold on the top, so you can see what you're looking for. There we go. And let's get away from the sun flare so we can see what we're doing. So there's lots of stone here. Remember, you do need the stone, which gives you gravel. You will need the stone at some point. I'm going to turn my lights off because I don't need them right now, save my energy. Running on batteries, you will need to conserve as much energy as you can. There's the gold. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, space engineers, here is gold. That's a great deposit of gold too. Let me just stop here. There we go. So we're going to mine a little bit of gold just to say we've got some. So here is gold. Oh, this is nice. So this is a huge deposit. I've never honestly seen one this big in my time in Space Engineers before. This is, this is amazing. Can you imagine how much this will be worth in the real world? So we're just mining a little bit of gold here. That should be enough. It should be a couple of thousand in there. We go here, hide entry. Gold, 6,500 gold right there in ore. Now remember, you're not going to get 6,500 kilos because it's going to refine that and get to the impurities and stuff out. But there we go, we have gold. Let's see what else we have. So we're just on a Mark 1 eyeball. We'll go down real quick. There we go. So we know we have gold, we know we have iron, we know we have ice, and we also have, there was a third element, was it cobalt? I don't think so. Gold, iron, ice, and magnesium. So what we'll do now is we're going to put a GPS location in here, new from current position, and the best naming convention is asteroid, gold, iron, ice. That's what I found, and then just put it in. Now if you know your elements like AG or FE or whatever, you can put that in there, but I just personally, I'm not a huge science guy, so I don't know my periodic table, sorry. So I just put this, ice, save it. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut loose. You see what gold looks like, you know what iron looks like, you know what ice looks like. I'm going to come back in just a few minutes, and when we found the next location, we'll show you what that resource looks like. Alright, it's Commander Noodles, I'll be back shortly. Well, Space Engineers, we're back. Okay, so we found this small meteor here, this small asteroid I should say. And this is what the asteroid looks like. And it's not too big. If we look around, that one we found gold, iron, ice about 3 kilometers away. And this one in particular, it's 7 kilometers from our main base. But if you have a look here, we can see it has iron, magnesium, uranium, and cobalt. So if I go back into the view, if we look over the cobalt, you'll be able to see it. It's a beautiful blue color. Everything else is just underneath the surface. So there's the cobalt, as you can see here. It's a beautiful blue. So we're going to get some of that. There we go. We'll get some cobalt, which we have a fair bit of it before from the Earth planet. That'll do. And we're going to go G. I'm going to try something here real quick. Going to go weapons and tools. Go remove. And let's try this. No, let's do it only on the one. But the thing with the weapons and tools is at the moment only the left one's working. But if I left click, it will gather. If I right click, it will destroy. I really need that destroy feature right now. So we can see here the uranium's just beneath the surface. So we're going to, there it is. We're going to use the right one here to destroy some of this rock. And there's a uranium. So now what we'll do is we'll go back to G and we'll go groups, toggle block on and off. There we go. So now we can start mining our uranium. Now we'll probably get a reasonable amount of stone in this, and we'll use this systems later on. We'll set up a system to throw the stone out. We know how to do that because in previous episodes I demonstrated how to use the filtration system, the sorter blocks to get the stone. But this is really important. This is uranium. This is what we're looking for. So the uranium looks like a dirty black color. So there it is right there. And if I go to my inventory now, hide the empty, we can see we do have 11,800 stone. We also have 5,500 of uranium. So that's going to be really handy. So let's let's make sure if we haven't done this already. We're going to set up a GPS location. We're going to go new from current position, and we're going to call it Asteroid Uranium Iron Cobalt, and there was one other thing in here, so we'll just say always visible, and I forget what the last one was. Iron, cobalt, and magnesium. So we go back into K, go into GPS, and magnesium. Okay, so that's good. So in the future, if we're ever in a point where we need to make something and we are running short of magnesium, we know we can come to this asteroid and we can go, hey Mr. Asteroid, give me your magnesium, and there it is. So let's see how easy it is to get to our magnesium field here. So there's our iron. We know what iron looks like. We've seen the cobalt looks like, and we've seen. So what we're trying to do is, can we get to a point where, oh, there's a tunnel there. I did not see that before. So there's iron, and there's no tunnel, and we're getting 16. There we go. So let's go G. We'll go weapons and tools, and then there we go. So I need to rework this system so both the drill bits turn on as a tool. I'm not sure why it's not happening right now. So there's your magnesium right there. So there we go, we found the magnesium. So if we go 3, we can now grab some magnesium. So you can see it was just beneath the surface. It wasn't too hard to get a hold of. And we're going to back up now. And what do we have here? We have more. So there we go. So you got uranium, we got cobalt, we got magnesium right here. And it's really quite pretty, isn't it? So I'm going to jump out just for a second, and we'll find any more resources we can that's relevant, and then we'll jump back in and show them what they look like. Let's Commander Noodles out for the moment. Okay, Space Engineers, we're back for the second time, and what we have found, we've just come across this asteroid. Let me go out here and we'll zoom out a little bit, and you can see here this is asteroid, and right from the get-go on this asteroid we have found platinum. Platinum, as you know, you have not been able to find on the planet because it's only on asteroids out in space. The other thing, which I'm just going to touch on now, but we're going to really focus on in another episode, if you have a look, getting away from us is a private sail over here. So it's an NPC ship, it's a cargo ship, it's unmanned, it just flies in general direction. You can go ahead and try and capture that if you want. If you do though, just be aware that they do have all the ships have some form of defensive measures on place. So they'll either have turreted machine guns, or they'll have interior guns on the outside, or sometimes they'll even have rockets, turreted machine guns, and interior guns. So you have to be prepared to be shot at for a little bit, and so you build a vessel appropriately to at least accommodate that level of damage. Now he just disappeared. What we're going to do now is we're going to grab some of this platinum. As I mentioned before, platinum is really, really important because, as I'm sure you're aware, you need it for several things. You need it for the elite level of tools. You also need it to make ion thrusters. Ion thrusters are good. They're not as fast as the hydrogen thrusters, but they don't use anything other than energy. And so we're just grabbing some platinum here. The other thing you're going to notice is when I finish doing that, and if I hit inventory and go to control panel, go to inventory. Actually, let's have a look here. Yes, under control panel, if we type in hydrogen tank, we're down to 50%. And if you go type in here ice, we are out of ice. So this is what I was saying before. We've got to keep an eye on that 52%. It's not refueling. So now what we need to do is we need to find ice. Either we have enough right now to get ourselves back to the main portal, our platform. But if you get down to 30%, you have no ice. My recommendation is put a location for where you're at. You can put like last, we'll put in here GPS, new from current position, and we can put in here asteroid platinum last lock, and then we can head straight back. Once we have filled ourselves up with ice, then we know we can come back. Oh my gosh, if that's all platinum, that is huge. We have a huge reserve of platinum here. That's fantastic. So if there's iron here, there's platinum. If there's no ice here, we will need to find ice, because you can see we're down to 46%. We just used 5%. There's uranium here. There's iron here. This would be a great place for a base. Platinum, excellent. So we're going to say K. We're going to go to the GPS, and we're going to change this one here to platinum, iron, uranium, there we go. So what we're going to do now is we're down to 44. So we've got a bunch of stuff here. What else do we have? Looks like more platinum and iron. Uranium's definitely there. Iron's definitely there. We don't see any ice. So if I was going to set myself up with a base, this would be the location for my base. So what we're going to do now is there's our mining base alpha up here. We're going to get out of this asteroid. You can see we're now down to 38%. So if you aren't careful, it is really easy to run out of ice when you're using hydrogen thrusters. We're down 36%. Right to a full stop. We're at a full stop. We're going to hit Z, and we're going to thrust forward. Oh, now if you have a look, I just looked at other areas I have referenced up here: asteroid, gold, iron, ice. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to go to this here. We're going to this asteroid. We're going to grab some ice as quick as we can, because we're down to 34% hydrogen. So we pretty much, you know what you're looking for. You understand if we need iron, there it is. I don't think we've found silver yet, but that's okay, because obviously it looks like silver. So when you go into production and you go to build something and it says it requires gold, iron, and it'll have different components, and each of those components will show you, yes, it needs gold to make that component, or platinum. Now you know what you're looking for. So we're at 34%. I am going to finish this episode up. This episode was just a simple one. If you haven't dealt with this before, how to find the different resources, what they look like in asteroids, and then all you have to do is go back to your little mining platform that we did earlier, and basically dock, and it will draw all those resources straight out and put them in the refinery. I will always recommend more than one refinery, but right now we set up one refinery because that's all we could afford with our resources. But now we've located all these other resources, we can actually say to the refinery, okay, do gold first, now do iron, now do whatever you need, platinum, and that will then be able to, down to 29%, that will then be able to create all the different resources you need, refine them, and you can use the assembler to get them. So we just made it here in time. And here's some ice right here, so we're going to go for this ice here. There we go. We'll go 3. And you can see we're at red now at 21%. %, so you're coming just in time. There we go, and we're now getting ice 19%. You should see that start to improve now. So always, there we go, 20%. Always keep an eye on the level of hydrogen you have. When the hydrogen stops refreshing itself, that is time to get ice. Now here's the other thing. If for some reason you run out of ice, you run out of hydrogen, and you're able to get, if you're getting close and you know you're not going to be able to make it, stop your ship, complete stop. The next thing you can do is set yourself a GPS marker, hit K for kilo, GPS, set your marker, and then get out. Okay? Go to your mining tool here, and literally, just like the old-fashioned, start mining, and then go and get your ice, and pick up the ice, like this, and do some more mining. Just mine the ice manually. And grab the ice as you mine it, there's another big chunk, and then you can go back into your ship, and go over here, double click the ice in the cockpit, boom, the ice. That'll at least give you some hydrogen. If nothing else, it will give you some oxygen. Okay, so if you're worried about running out of oxygen and hydrogen and stuff like that, and you know you're going to, stop your ship, get out, and use your guy, especially if you got some additional tanks like O2 tanks and H2 tanks. Use those resources so you're never stuck as long as your ship is not moving. If your ship is moving and you run out of hydrogen, you will have no way of slowing that ship down. So it's just going to continue to go in that general direction until either it disappears in a void of space or it hits something. So if I stop the mining now, hit 3, type in ice, you can see here 6.5 with 3/4 and half. So right now this one's 3/4 of capacity and this one's half capacity. So if we go back to control panel and type in, if we go to a hydrogen tank, we're now 37% each. So that's simple that. If you have any questions, please feel free to put them down in the YouTube channel. We'll get back to you guys as soon as we can. I hope this has been helpful to you. But that's just a simple way of maintaining your ship. Obviously, once you get to the point where you're not using hydrogen thrusters, ice is not so critical, but you will go through a lot of ice really quickly, so keep an eye on it. This is Commander Noodles, signing off.